Welcome to the Wine Cage. I'm Dylan.
I'm Amanda.
And tonight we are drinking Teusner's Avatar GMS. That's a Grenache Mataro Shiraz from the Barossa Valley. And before we get into the look and smell and taste of this classy looking red, Amanda's going to tell us a bit about the design of the label and the presentation in general.
Well, I have to say, I am always on the fence when it comes to more classic looking wine labels. I know you love them. Sometimes I love them. Sometimes I think they're a little bit safe. This one I really like. Everything from the unusual oval shape of the label to the White Tree of Gondor looking illustration in the back there. I'm always a sucker for gold foil. And there's very nice spot gloss applied to the Teusner here. All in all, it's a very classy package. It probably costs a lot of money.
Some fancy paper, isn't it?
It is fancy paper as well, yes. I also like, as a small touch here, they've got the name of the actual wine, Avatar, here as a separate label, which to me implies that this is probably one that they use across all of their wines, which probably saves them a lot of paper. I always respect anything that is environmentally friendly, so that's a tick from me. What do you think?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's interesting about the separate label. It makes it look even classier. So it's clever. To me, the label's fine. As I say, very upmarket looking. For me, it's saved by the fact that it does have a sort of etching of a tree on it. It just makes it a bit more interesting than if it was just another cursive writing label. The most interesting thing about this wine, though, is the text on the back that says, blah, blah, blah. It explains a bit about how it's made. And then it says, patience in seasoned oak has afforded Joshua a mature sibling known as Avatar, a transformation. So this wine is named Avatar, and presumably it has a sibling named Joshua. And it just...
It makes the mind go to work.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder if the winemaker enjoys other substances as well when writing the copy for the wine. But I'm just kidding. At least it's interesting. It's not your usual copy on the back of a wine bottle.
It's unusual.
Yeah, so Avatar sounds very dramatic name for a red. Does it live up to that drama, though?
Let's find out.
Let's see. So... look and colour-wise, nothing special to report on this one. It's just your deep purple.
Yeah, it has a hint of brown to it, which I suppose is a little unusual, but it's a nice colour. It's a rich colour. It doesn't have any sort of obvious sediment, which is neither here nor there to me.
You're right. It's a bit desaturated, isn't it? Like it's it's a bit deeper. Quite thick. Let's see how it smells. Now, you had something interesting on the nose on this one, didn't you?
Smells like a new pair of shoes.
I hadn't thought of that. I thought that was an interesting description. For me, the nose on this, it smells like walking into a beautiful garden. I've said that before with some wines, but to me that is a bit special. It is an extremely pleasurable nose on this one.
It is nice, yeah. It's a nice pair of shoes. I just need to clarify.
A nice pair of shoes walking into a beautiful garden that also has a clear lagoon in it and, the waft of fresh flowers and some wine barrels spaced around for that hint of dustiness. So the nose on this is amazing. You could just smell this all night, but it would take a long time to get through it just doing that. So on that note, let's see how it tastes. So the taste on this Teusner GMS, for me, is what's great about it is what it doesn't have. If you think of making wine, and I'm sure this is somewhat the case, as traversing a minefield of potentiality of things going wrong and ending up with sharpness or sourness and, all those kind of notes in a wine that you don't want, I assume, as a winemaker. With this, they've managed to do that in such a way where it doesn't have a punchy, strong flavor. It's more that it just lacks all of the things that you would like to avoid in a red. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's for me it's got a lot of fruity flavors, but without being yuck fruity. It's got a hint of savouriness almost.
Yeah.
And very dusty.
I remember because we moved on to this red last night while eating, and I just remember when we first sipped it, we were kind of surprised. We were both a bit like, wow, that's different. Haven't tasted a wine that sort of gives you that sense of surprise and difference in a while. So that was a novelty. So take that on board with this one. It is it's a bit special in that way. On the flip side, what keeps this from having a very high rating for me is that it's a little sharp up front. Do you get that as well?
Agreed. And the tail end is slightly bitter.
So, yeah, I mean, that sharpness is negligible. And I think with food, that was even less. So I don't think I even noticed that with food. Without food, I'm noticing it a bit more. But the tail, instead of fading to velvety or, sort of just fading away, it has a hint of sour on the exit, don't you think? So that's the only thing that keeps this from having a super high rating. But it's lovely. The nose is just so good that we really enjoyed this one. And we would love to drink it again. We'll probably pick it up again another time. So, yeah, all round good times with this one. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
So, rating-wise, I'm thinking for this one, I'm going to stick with it being an 8. What do you reckon?
My memories from last night during dinner, which were very nice, suggest that I should also give it an 8.
Yeah, so 8. Well, I almost want to give this higher, like an 8.5, but I think that that sour on the exit is just keeping it off that for us. But still, we're loving this wine, really enjoying it. That's the Teusner GMS from the Barossa Valley. And is it... where's our year on it?
2021.
So, yeah, highly recommend this one, and it's a definite repurchase. So grab yourself a bottle, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Wine Cage.
Cheers.